Hello everybody, and welcome back to Vintage Story. Today, as always, we got some work to do. And we also have a violent storm and high rift activity with rifts right out of our front door. So I think let's go inside for a second here and kind of collect ourselves. There are a bunch of little tasks I want to get done today. There are, of course, the smithing jobs that we've been talking about doing for quite some time. I want to go ahead and use up some of that meteoric iron that we have. I also need to craft up some more lanterns for our animal pens, make sure our chickens and our pigs are safe. I'll also move the pen. Oh, yeah, so it does look like one of the roosters killed the other rooster. Somebody mentioned that they will fight and eventually destroy each other. So, yeah, we're going to want to get some lanterns crafted up to make sure our animal pens are illuminated. We're going to need a box for the hens to lay eggs in, to make sure we can duplicate our chickens that way, and then we'll also need to move the food trough a little bit further away from the edge of the pen here. A lot of people were mentioning that the pigs could potentially climb out of the pen if the food trough is too close. So a couple quick little crafting jobs to get the old homestead under control here where we want it to be. Let's get that stuck right there, one away from the fence, make sure they're safe. We are going to want to also make a full-size sort of enclosure for our animals, make sure that they're safe from drifters. When the snow starts piling up, it's possible that drifters could jump over the edge of the fences here. So, I mean, maybe we just make like a second layer of fencing. That could potentially help out, at least for the time being. But first things first, you know, it is already getting dark. The sun is already setting. These days in the winter, man, they are so short. But, you know, with this high rift activity coming up, let's get inside here. Go ahead and eat a little bit of pie, get ourselves nice and filled up, and let's get to work smithing some of our stuff. Yeah, we're also going to need to... Well, I'll go ahead and do the smithing jobs first, and then we'll talk about the other chores that we have on our list, because there is a lot of work I want to get done. And, you know, the daylight is short out here during the winter, so let's just go ahead and get to work. First things first, I think it is finally time we get ourselves a meteoric iron falx blade going here. Cut out the extra little pieces here, and there we go. A beautiful meteoric iron falx blade ready to go. There we go. Meteoric iron falx blade. Attack power 5.3, compare that to our 4.5. Attack tier 4, range 2.5, so the same range, but much stronger in terms of attack power and durability. So very, very nice item here. And with all of this growling happening outside, I think maybe we give this thing a little bit of a test run. Here we go. So I still think it's 3 hits to kill a drifter here. So it hasn't changed in terms of the number of hits for small drifters, but when it comes to the larger, more dangerous enemies, I'm sure that higher damage will sort of add up over time. So very, very cool. Glad to have this. This gives us a nice extra offensive option. We, of course, have our gambas and armor for extra defense, and we do have that iron shield that we crafted so long ago that we should really be using. If we crouch, you know, you can pull up your block, and kind of just, if you've done it in Minecraft before, very similar to that, but we can block with the crouch. Yep, there we go. Okay, so the rocks are being blocked. They're hitting each other, now they're fighting each other. Ouch. We're taking a lot of damage here, I'm just not being very careful. But that is the state of the meteoric iron here. The other thing we're going to have to do is get to work on some lanterns. I want at least 2 more here. So let's go ahead and get our anvil set up here. I did heat up this other bar here, but I don't think we're actually going to use it. Let's get at least 1 more copper lantern going. And seeing as how low we are on these copper ingots, we're definitely going to need to grab ourselves some more copper ore. I think for now we're just going to set the other meteoric over here. Let's just get to work on these copper bars and extra lanterns for our animal houses. And I do think we're going to need to smelt up the rest of our copper here. So let's get a bunch more copper ingots going. I think we'll get 6 more copper ingots. That should last us for quite some time. Alright, we're going to get our extra copper bar, copper plate going there, and then 600 units. And in order to make these lanterns, we're actually going to need some more glass. So I am going to need to cook up another bloomery and make sure we get the glass that we need pulled together as well. Yeah, we have plenty of fire clay bricks. I think maybe we go ahead and bake up 2 bloomeries worth. We're going to need to grab up some quartz to turn into glass. We did crush all of our quartz, I believe. Let me check on my quartz crusher operation here. Oh, no, we do have a decent amount of quartz left. So we can bake up this quartz into glass. There are just a ton of tiny little chores that we have to get taken care of here, and making glass is going to be one of them for the lanterns. 24 chunks of quartz in each. We have tons and tons of quartz around us, so I'm not worried about running out at all. Our copper is still cooking up here, so just a nice, long, relaxing night of crafting. Get a couple of these chores under our belts, and let's move this anvil before I go crazy. I was mentioning there are tons of little chores we need to get taken care of. You can see my HP is pretty low after that sloppy fighting we did last night, and we are pretty much out of healing bandages. We do have some horsetails in storage, I believe, but we're going to need to go into a forest biome nearby and make sure we get a ton more horsetails so we can be stocked up on all of the healing items that we can need here at the base, and also for future adventures, because as we get into the winter, hunting and gathering are going to be less and less profitable, so I think it's going to be a good opportunity for us to do a little bit of cave diving perhaps. So I want to get geared up. I want to get, we have our beautiful Falx Blade ready to go. We have our Iron Shield. I'm going to get all the healing that we can need. And let's get all of the preparation underway for a nice big cave diving expedition, because we really haven't done any cave diving. And that is a very important aspect of this game. Now, the one thing I am running a little low on is black coal and charcoal for the bloomeries. We can use brown coal for the forges, but for these bloomeries, you got to use the good stuff. I also, of course, need some more iron, and that's going to require more coal to smelt up into the iron blooms, and then we, of course, have our beautiful health hammer to help us make more bars. But I want to get a ton of iron arrows pulled together as well before we start doing our big adventures. I think iron arrows are going to be a huge help to us. So lots and lots of gathering in the books for today. I think the first thing that we probably do is horsetails once it's nice and bright outside. And then, of course, we'll have to get a second lantern crafted up. Let's get the first one going here. I think we should have enough beeswax for at least 2 more lanterns. But we are running pretty low on that stuff as well here. Yeah, we have 16 total if we count the one that we haven't squeezed yet. We're going to need 2 candles here. So we have 3 candles worth of wax left. I also remembered that since I have class-specific recipes off, I could also just craft a iron short sword head for the Blackguard short sword, which is actually equivalent exactly in HP, damage, attack tier, everything to the Meteoric Falx. So that is also an option, a little bit cheaper than the Meteoric Iron if we just use 1 single iron ingot to make those. Right now, what I think I'm going to do is let's go ahead and craft up some healing bandages. Make sure we get our HP to where we want it to be here. Get 2 stacks of these horsetail poultices, and then we are pretty much out of horsetails here. So not the most exciting plan for once the sun is up, but I do think it's going to be a horsetail and cattail kind of morning tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead, hop in bed, and skip to the next morning here. So I'll see you guys once we're out there, ready to get some gathering going. Good morning, everybody. Bright and sunny morning out here. I'm gonna go ahead and head on over to our horsetail lake. We have our knife is actually pretty low here. I'm gonna grab our other knife. We did make a spare a while back, so we are prepared. Go ahead and grab our spare knife here. And with this, we are ready to do a bunch of horsetail and cattail gathering. before the lakes fully freeze over, before it gets way too cold to be doing these gathering activities, let's go ahead and get as many of those resources as we can for now. Keep our healing bandage supply topped off. Yeah, just going to be doing a lot of gathering here. I might actually also... The other thing that we can also start gathering, we're going to need a lot of it, is quartz. I believe this right here is my quartz mine. Yeah, so maybe while we're here, actually, let's also do a little bit of quartz mining. Get a bunch of this stuff. Got some, oh, native copper right there as well. Nice. Just going to do a bunch of gathering general resources today. We are in short supply of a lot of things, and if we're going to want to get working on refractory bricks eventually here, we are going to need a ton of this quartz crushed up. So I think that's another project I want to get today, in addition to all of the resource gathering, is let's get to work on maybe getting a hopper system set up, and that way we can kind of have an automatic quartz crushing system going for us. This is a pretty massive quartz deposit. I mean, quartz deposits in this game are typically just gigantic, so we're fortunate to have one right next to the base, and we're pretty much never going to run out of quartz at this rate. I think we just found some silver. Yeah, we did find a medium chunk of silver there as well. Alright, I think that will do it for the quartz for right now. We got almost 2 full stacks plus a bunch of clear quartz. That'll be good for right now. While it's still light out, let's head on over to the horsetail forest and just get a bunch of those going as well. But here we are, horsetails galore. I'm just going to gather up a huge amount of these things so we can have just a massive sort of back stock of all of the healing items we can need through the whole winter here. Hopefully, you know, we're a little bit more careful in our combat and we don't need quite so many, but knowing me, I'm probably going to be pretty reckless. Got another cave right here. Start marking all these caves because, you know, this is what we're pretty much prepping for, is cave exploration. Still got some veggies growing out here too. Yeah, once the snow hits, we're not going to be able to spot any of this stuff, so we want to gather it while we still can. Oh my gosh. I just found another beehive. After all that exploration we went through, there's literally one, again, like right next to our base. Can't believe I missed this. There are so many close to the base that I totally missed and ended up going way, way far out to find our first ones, but good to know that there are so many close by in case the worst happens and we need to regather some bees. It's already getting dark. I know I say this every day, it just constantly surprises me how short these days are. Alright, so it is getting dark. I'm gonna go ahead, not fall in the pit. That one doesn't look too dangerous, at least. Got a few more turnips out here. I'm going to go ahead, gather up these last little bits of turnips, and let's head back for the night. Got a decent amount of gathering done. Not too many cattails, but a huge amount of horsetails, which is nice. Do the last couple quick gathers while we're out here, and then let's head on back to the base. Here's a look at the haul. 2.5-ish stacks of horsetails, 25 cattails, and a ton of quartz, and a few vegetables and seeds to top it all off. So overall, a nice little bit of gathering there. Definitely glad we got that taken care of. I think that should last us for a while. The main cost of crafting those bandages is the horsetails, so we have probably plenty of cattails to use all of the horsetails we have in our inventory now. I think that will suffice for the time being. Let's get back to the base. It is low rift activity, so expecting a couple of drifters out here in the darkness. See our beautiful base up on the hill. Super happy with how it's shaping up. Again, not the most eventful day. Again, a very short day with all the light issues that we're dealing with here, but you know, an absolutely necessary day. You know, we need these healing items, especially if we're going to be going on adventures, and we need the quartz for glass and for potential steel making in the near future. All right. Back home again here. Let's sort through our inventories. Come up with a plan from there. So I am starting to get a bit concerned about our animals in the darkness out here. So I am going to go ahead and place, I think, a lantern right here for the pigs. That should keep them illuminated. Then we're going to need another one, which we have the stuff for. I think our glass should be done. Yes, our glass is indeed finished here. Let's go ahead and grab all this up. Alright, and there's our other copper lantern. Alright, beautiful. Nice and illuminated now. I think the pigs should be fine with the lantern in the middle like that. As long as they're not in total darkness, I think they'll be fine. Let's check in on our sow. Oh, she is pregnant. Okay. So we have our first piglet on the way. I think we need to expand our operation here. Thank you for all the comments about the animal husbandry. So animals do not starve, so that is good to know. We only need to give them enough food to get them pregnant. Assuming the same goes for the chickens. We do need a hen box for them to actually lay eggs. For right now, what I think we do is let's get our personal lantern sorted out. Make sure we have that going here. Very, very, very slow wind right now. It's going to be slow going for the old Helvhammer here, but we need that plate for our personal lantern now that we have given the other ones to our animals. Alright, so the next thing we're going to need is a hen box. And we have a couple of hens, so maybe we make up like 2 of these. Hens must be well fed to lay, so we're going to need to be feeding those hens. Let's get a couple of these crafted up as well. Make sure we get our hens multiplying as soon as we can here. Alright, we're going to get 3 of these hen boxes crafted up. Also have to make sure we feed our hens, keep them nice and well fed. We got the 3 hen boxes, we got our trough full there. I don't know if the hens can also escape on top of the food trough. I doubt it since it's so small like that. But that is... We can maybe house 1 more hen in here, then we can have 1 for each box. We definitely are going to want some more sows for the pig pen. So we have 2 males and only 1 female right now who's already pregnant. So we're definitely going to want to get some more sows in there. Very nice. Our animal empire is well along its way here. Very cool. Let's check in on our iron plate here. See if it is finished up. Oh, does look like it finished. Awesome. Making good progress on the random little chores today. Just a lot of work around the homestead. That is the name of the game here in Vintage Story. Always, always something else that you need to take care of. There is our personal handheld lantern. Nice and beautiful. Oh, the other... Actually, what I should have checked is how much silver we have after we got that nugget. Yeah, we can put a silver plate inside of the lantern. That's going to take 2 full silver ingots to make. I highly doubt we have enough silver yet, but if we can make that silver plate, we can make a even brighter lantern, and that could be our handheld lantern with the silver plate in there, and it's just an even better version of it. So it will be brighter in the hand. If we have that level 20 lantern, that would be really nice. Okay, yeah, nowhere near enough yet, but you know, we made a little bit of progress with this nugget here. The other thing I also want to gather up a ton of while we still can is just normal dry grass. Dry grass will be buried underneath the snow during the winter, so again, that's another thing that's going to be difficult to find once it really starts to get snowy out here. So I think we take the opportunity while we can and just get a massive, massive amount of dry grass. Right now we only have almost 2 stacks. We want to get way more than that in preparation for the snowfall here. So good thing we have our beautiful, beautiful scythe here. This will make gathering that much easier. Yeah, just another lonely evening of gathering here. Very soothing, relaxing gathering experience. I'll see you guys once I have a good amount of dry grass. Alright. We got a pretty decent supply of grass here, tons and tons of it. This, hopefully, should last us most of the winter for whatever grass-related needs we have. Very nice supply of grass there, and one of the reasons I wanted to get so much of this is I want to craft up a bunch of torches here, because we are planning on doing some cave exploring. So I think 32 plus the 12 we already have should be pretty decent. We have a nice supply of sticks. Not too concerned about sticks since we can just cut down some tree leaves for the sticks we need. Let's go ahead and get these all turned into illuminated sticks. Illuminate our beautiful fire pit. There we go. These torches will slowly ignite over time. That's also something potentially that we need to gather more of is firewood. There we go. Just like that, we have 44 torches. I think that should be more than enough. Very, very nice. Yeah, I do think we'll probably need some more firewood to keep this thing going here. We're just kind of warming up by the fireplace right now. We could go to our black coal mine, or we could potentially also just make a massive charcoal pit. We really haven't made use of all of our pine trees over there. We went through the trouble of growing so many of them, just a massive forest over there. It might be time to start chopping some of those down, as well as those oaks, and doing some replanting. Make use of all of that wood that we went through the trouble of growing, and get a little bit of use out of it. We are just on a chore mode today. We are getting so many little chores done before the snow starts to fall here. It is January, 4th of January, very, very balmy out there. You know, it's just a little matter of time until the snow starts to fall, so I do think it's going to be important to get as many of these chores taken care of as we can. Get the chest on our back, and let's go on a wood chopping spree and twig gathering spree. I think something else that we can look into making are some crates. What these crates do is they have 20 stacks worth of storage, and I think they only take up like a couple, like one block, so it's 20 full stacks of storage. Very quick and easy to make. They look kind of nice too, so we can just fill those crates with simple things like wood logs and sticks and stuff like that we just have a ton of storage for. I think we wear through this whole pair of shears and this whole iron axe and just get as much oak and pine as we can right now. The sun just crested over the horizon, a bright and early 8 o'clock start here. Let's get on over to the forest and get to work. Definitely a more chill episode today, just a lot of chores and preparation, but all of this is really in preparation for the winter. When it starts to snow, there is not much you can do in terms of gathering, or at least it becomes a lot more difficult to gather. Let's go ahead. I think maybe we start with our oak forest. Let's just try and get as much of these oak leaves, as pine cones, and all of that as we can. I guess the oak trees would drop acorns. Let's get as much of the oak stuff as we can. Hopefully get some decent acorn drops here so we can replenish our forest. But oak is just such a nice aesthetic log and a useful log for so many things. The pine is pretty much just for, plank crafting purposes and firewood and all that. Also very useful, but not quite as nice as the oak. And we already have 5 trees worth of acorns. I think this was this is a 2 tree right here. So we already have 5 trees from a 2 tree. Super nice. Just gonna be a lot of gathering here. Not sure how much of this I'm gonna show. Probably pretty boring just to watch me cut leaves like this, but it is a part of the adventure, part of what we need to do. This is why you grow the trees close together, by the way, is because they'll fuse together and just make massive chunks of wood for you to cut. If you just do them individually, they won't usually become like the massive chunky trees like that. Sometimes they're just like one little log of tree. So putting a bunch of acorns close together usually yields fatter trees for better wood results. There we go, we'll do 3 right there. Just make sure we are replenishing our forest as we cut through it. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit more work on the tree farm here, get a bunch of sticks, a bunch of hopefully acorns as well. And I'll be back with you guys once I have taken care of a lot of this work. See you guys soon. Oh man, that is a big juicy tree, look at that. See you guys soon. Alright, so we got a decent amount of oak wood here, very nice. I am going to kind of dump some of that in our CarryOn chest, just so we have some extra room for the next stuff that we want to do here. And then let's get to work on doing some of our pines as well here for some fodder wood. I think for the pines, I'm not as concerned about getting the pine cones. We just have so many of these things. We are just kind of overflowing on sticks right now. So I'm just going to do a little bit of pinecone gathering, maybe just replenish the ones, like a few of the ones that we chopped down. I just want a ton of firewood, and what I want to do is, oops, let's go ahead and actually make a massive charcoal pit. The first one that we will be making. We've made some small ones in the past, but I think it is time. We also want to go back to our coal mine. That'll be useful, but just having a nice supply of charcoal while we have all of this surplus wood, I think, will be useful to us for sure. Alright, so we cleared out a pretty good chunk of the pine forest as well here. As you can see, we have quite a bit of pine wood, and I think most of this we're going to be turning into charcoal. Yeah, as you can see, it is starting to get a little dark out here. Strong gale, very windy, very chilly, and it's just going to keep getting chillier. So let's head back to the base and make use of some of this wood that we gathered up. Alright, so there is our oak logs. Not a ton compared to the pine that we got, but it is still a nice supply here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and make up 2 pine crates here, and we are going to be using these crates to do some of the storing of the wood that we just gathered. Here's how the crates look. You cannot open them like a chest, but you can stick the same item in them. So for example, just do that. We can gather them out one by one like this. So a very useful item for holding a lot of the same thing. And if you break it, you can just get the chest back like this. Kind of rotate it to change how it looks. But I think these will be useful, especially for all of these sticks that we have. We have so many sticks. I think that this is going to be our storage method of choice for sticks here. Absolute ton of sticks. We'll just get so many of them in there. Maybe leave a couple of stacks in our chests just for quick crafting. And then the other thing we're going to need to do is start chopping a lot of this into firewood. And we're probably going to run through our whole axe with all of this firewood chopping. But I want to get a pretty large charcoal pit going. Get some of this stuck over by the fire over here. Just have a nice supply there. It is fortunately a calm rift activity evening, so we can do a little bit of work through the night. Alright, and I think I'm just going to use this spot right over here. It's already kind of a pit. So we're just going to clear out the grass, and let's go ahead and get some of this firewood laid down in here. Get to work on our charcoal. Alright. Our first properly large pit for charcoal here. This will all be beautiful, beautiful charcoal in a little bit here. So let's go ahead and get this all buried underground. We still have some leftover firewood. I didn't use all of it for this pit. We are actually going to need 1 dry grass here. Let's go ahead and get our charcoal pit smoking up here. Alright. Our charcoal pit is smoking. We have a nice, huge supply of charcoal on the way here. That will last us for quite some time. Very, very happy about that. Very nice. Yet another chore taken care of. This will be just a little bit of time, and it will be a huge, huge supply for us to get a lot of our smelting needs taken care of. Now with those chores out of the way, we got our animals kind of working away. We got our pigs working away. One of them's already pregnant. I do want to find more animals to get that operation going a little bit more quickly here. Having just that 1 female pig is kind of not going to cut it, I feel like. So definitely more animals is another chore that we need to get taken care of. But, we've been doing so many chores here. I think the next thing that I really want to do is let's head over to the, I think it was the brown coal mine. And there's a pretty sizable cave in that area. Maybe it was the black coal mine. We're going to head down that cave and have that be our first caving adventure. We have all these torches, we have a lot of food, we have our new weapon, we have our healing items. I want to craft up maybe some ladders as well, those will be helpful. But I feel like we're pretty well prepared for what may come our way in that cave. And the other thing about that cave is it had, I believe, the type of rock that olivine can potentially spawn in. And if we're going to be doing steel making, if we can find olivine to make tier 2 refractory bricks instead of the tier 1 refractory bricks, that will make our lives so much easier. It's much less likely that your bricks will break on you. if you have the tier 2 at the minimum, so I think it might be worth heading that direction. There also is, of course, our iron cave, and you know what? Let's take a look at our iron supply here. It is woefully low. I think actually the cave of choice to kick things off is let's head back over to the iron cave. Over in this area, I'm trying to avoid moving my map on screen because I think moving it is what causes it to glitch. So hopefully just showing the static screen here, you can see our home up here. This is where the iron ore that we initially found kind of like in our first couple of days was. I think let's check out that iron cave. There was a rusty gear in the mouth of that cave, so I do think there is some adventure to be had there. We need a lot more iron ore anyways, so hopefully we can get lucky, find some iron ore over there, and also get our first taste of dangerous adventure. With that said, I think I'm going to hit the sack. We should wake up nice and early in the morning here, and I will see you guys in the morning when we're ready to think about our next steps. Good morning, everybody. It is a bright and early morning here, 9 a.m. I have all my inventory sorted out here, so we have food, we have fire-making materials to warm ourselves up in an emergency. I made a bunch of ladders. We, of course, have our torches here. I'm going to bring our iron pickaxes, our falx blade, our shield, a bunch of food. I think we're as prepared as we can be, so let's go ahead, get our armor on here, get all suited up. And with that taken care of, I think we are ready to go off on our first little adventure here. I have, of course, the CarryOn chest on our back as well. It's kind of hidden inside of our backpack there, but we have that going for us. I will maybe grab a little bit more dirt, some low fertility dirt. That way we can have a pillar in our back pocket in an emergency situation. We have a knife, we have a shield. I think we are ready to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and pin our iron mine on the map here. And with that taken care of, we are ready to head on out. I'm feeling nice and prepared here. Our hunger will go down more quickly with our gambas on, but no movement speed penalty from the chest or the armor. I think we are ready, and it is pretty close anyways, so I'm feeling good to sprint here. Our hunger will be dropping pretty quickly with the shield in our offhand as well. I'm going to get that in our hotbar so we can slap that on when we need to. Oops, not the Q button. The X button will put that in your offhand. So when we're ready to fight, we have 16 healing bandages. I am feeling good. I wonder if this could potentially be meteoric iron. I don't know. Yeah, nothing there. Alright, let's keep going. Don't get distracted. We are looking for normal iron today, not meteoric iron. Of course, the normal iron will be necessary for steel production. Oh, there's another resin tree right here that I never found. Always pin the resin. We're going to, of course, need to go on another resin run eventually. So many chores. Oh my gosh, we have crops. There's just always something. Always want to gather these seeds if you can, especially with the new season right around the corner. We can just snack on that rye and that spelt. Oh, flax, always very important. Yeah, these last couple of days of snowless ground will be invaluable to us for gathering stuff like that. But again, the main project for today is right over here, the iron mine. Alright. Of course, have to pick our direction here. There's the silver ore. We might as well grab the silver ore up as well here. While we're down here, this is guaranteed silver. Another little bit of progress towards our more powerful lantern. But I think since we started coming down that direction, at least check this cave out here. Not seeing anything super interesting, but what I do want to do is head in the direction of the iron ore, where we know there's potentially great stuff over in that direction. So I think it is this cave right here. Yeah, there is the drifter little cavern that we initially found. Nothing immediately visible. Not sure if that's a dead end or if there's anything to be found down there. Maybe we could burrow through the wall. There was this direction over here that did have drifters and a bunch of iron for us. There's still a few scraps of iron around here. We walled this place off last time we were here. I think let's go ahead and gather up the rest of the iron in this immediately accessible area. I'm going to go ahead and make sure we light this whole place up. Try and prevent spawns from happening behind us. that there. Get some torches all around the place. And let's get to work. Lots and lots of iron to be mined yet in this cave. The other thing that I could have potentially prepared is a bow and arrow. We do have the bow. We just don't really have the arrows for it yet, and we did get all of those chickens the other day, so that is also an option for us. Man, this iron vein is just massive. I don't know how deep we will be adventuring today. I think we might just fill our pockets with all the iron right here. Oh, yeah, we can hear the drifters coming. That is why we walled this place off. Deep drifter. Make sure we're keeping the place illuminated to avoid any jump scare spawns right behind us. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of mining here. Probably not too exciting, but definitely exciting for me. This vein is so amazing. I can't believe how rich this vein is. Never ends, it seems. Just keeps going in this direction. The potential of moving into steel production right around the corner, we definitely want to get this supply up. We're going to have to get all of these turned into blooms and then turned into ingots. I believe we place the ingots inside of the coffin that makes the iron into steel. So a lot of extra steps required. If we don't find an iron door, we'll also have to craft an iron door ourselves, which is another pretty large chunk of material. Definitely a lot of stages left in the whole steelmaking processes, but we are making progress. Man, every time I come to an edge that we mined through, I'm thinking it's going to end, but it just does not end. It just keeps going and going and going. I will not complain, though. That is really awesome. And it is all bountiful as well. Really can't get better than this. Probably getting pretty close. Yeah, we're pretty close to filling up. I don't know how much of these granite stones I really want to keep at this point. Alright, so we're just going to get a bunch of our stuff stored away in the chest here that we're going to want to keep for sure. So these seeds, the iron ore, obviously, that's going to keep stacking, so we'll probably keep that in there. Let's get back to gathering. And I think with that, we have officially cleared out this side of the mine. Not seeing any more iron. There is, of course, the other side of the mine over there. But over here, not seeing any more. So I think that is a job well done. We almost got 3 full stacks of bountiful hematite there. And with that taken care of, I think we may as well. And I head back to the base. Make sure we get all of our torches back here. Don't want to waste any of these. Yep, this mine definitely served us well. It is time to say goodbye. Oh, it is high rift activity. May have been a mistake not bringing the bed. I think we may just have to pack up here and get back to the base. We still have a little bit of time here before... oh, you know what? This side of the mine is not done. Thought it was done. We are not even close. There's still that huge, huge chunk over there. But with that being said, we don't have our bed on us. I think it is high time that we get out of here. The base is pretty close by. So let's go ahead. Slap this on. Eat a little bit of bread. And book it back home before it gets too dangerous out here. Have to be doing a little dodging and weaving to get home. And there we are, just a hop, skip, and a jump, and we are already back to the base. Super convenient. Not the most epic adventure, just over to the close iron mine over there, but super productive in terms of resource gathering. Quickly check in on our charcoal pit over here. Oh, it just already finished. Okay, that was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. But we have the charcoal ready to go. But of course, it is a high rift activity night. We're going to have to settle in. We're going to make use of that charcoal for sure in the morning, but let's go ahead, take a nice, well-deserved sleep, and I will see you guys when you're ready to get to work making some more iron blooms. See you guys soon. Good morning, everybody. It is 5 a.m., but it is still pitch black out here, as you can see. Beautiful starry night sky, but as we wait for the daylight to gather our charcoal, I'm going to do a little bit of baking. We have no more pie, no more bread to our name other than this little stack we have in our inventory. So I'm just going to do some baking, get a little bit of food in reserve here, and then once that's taken care of, let's get to work on today's industry job as well. All right, we got quite a bit of pie on hand now. Onion pie, meat pie, turnip pie. We're gonna need some more meat. I didn't have quite enough to fill up this other pie. We're gonna need 4 more slices. But with that taken care of, the baking is good to go. Let's grab our shovel. Nice and bright outside now, and let's get all of our beautiful charcoal in hand. Here we are, the pit of charcoal. Absolutely massive charcoal pit here. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let's get as much as we can out of here and see what our haul is. Is not quite 2 stacks, but almost 2 full stacks of charcoal. Absolutely awesome. And we still have so many pine trees over there. So much more charcoal that we can gather. But with that taken care of, we have quite a bit of material to work with when it comes to actually smelting up our ores. Fortunately, the brown coal is actually good enough to work the blooms once those are finished. But before the blooms are finished, we are going to need to use charcoal and black coal to actually process those blooms. So it's a good thing we crafted that up. We were on our last stack of black coal, and here we are on our last 3 stacks of charcoal, but we have so much iron to work with now. It is absolutely crazy. Let's grab our hammer here and start chopping some of this up. Alright, so I chopped up 4 full stacks of iron for the time being. We have so much iron, and we're going to need quite a bit of this to actually process into steel once we're ready for that stage. Alright, those things are cooking away. In just a few short in-game hours, we will officially have a ton of iron blooms to work through. We still have a decent amount of clay bricks, a ton of hematite, ton of charcoal, so that's even more steel blooms, or iron blooms rather, that we can get to work on in preparation for steel production once we get ready for that. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I think that will wrap it up for today's episode. A pretty chill one today, just a lot of errands, a lot of gathering, getting prepared for the snowy part of winter. But I think we are in a really good spot. We are super rich on resources. We have a ton of wood and charcoal, iron on the way. I think we are super, super prepared, and I'm feeling really good about the progress we made today. Even if it was a little bit more of a chill, gathering type episode, I hope you guys enjoyed watching and coming along for the journey as we just continue to progress and develop our homestead here. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Goodbye.